Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy July the 2nd, 2024.
And good morning, everybody. And guess what? You're at the right place.
That's right.
Welcome to another episode of The Good News from Yurt Nation.
That's right. Yes, we got the good news right here in my lap, and we share what it says, for the day here. And we currently, what's Yurt Nation? Well, we live here in Yurt Nation. Beautiful Middle Tennessee. Yeah, Sparta, Tennessee. We love it here. Now, it's a beautiful day today. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day as well, wherever you are watching from. And yeah, influence and the limitations. So we all, as a majority, have some limitations of some sort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just do. Whether it be health, whether it be agile, mobile, or whatever. We're all limited. But the limitations are it's just a word. It's just a thing. It doesn't hold us back. We hold ourselves back. And we put ourselves down thinking that we can't do this or that because of this limitation. But there's so many different examples of people that are far more limited at their ability to do things, and it's amazing what they can do. I just think of like people that just because they've lost an arm or a leg or whatever, we've seen, and y'all probably have too, where they have just shined, and they're still doing amazing things because they didn't give up and they didn't let that limitation just
bog them down
and just destroy their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cynthia always says, you have a purpose. And that's exactly right. You are worth. You're wonderfully and fearfully made by God the Creator. And everything that He made, He said it was good. So, influence and the limitations. This is out of Philippians chapter 1. And I'm going to read Philippians chapter 1, 6 through 11. This is Paul talking. And we know that Paul, let's just jump into it. So being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Even as it is proper for me to think this of you all, because I have you in my heart. Insomuch as both in my bonds and in the defense and confirmation of the gospel, ye all are partakers of my grace. For God is my witness, how greatly I long after you all in the bowels of Jesus Christ. And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment, that you may approve things that are excellent, and that you may be sincere and without offense till the day of Christ, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Jesus Christ, unto the glory and praise of God. Paul was in jail, prison. Like he said, in that because I have you all in my heart, insomuch as both in my bonds. He was in bondage. They put him in prison. They, like we've talked about before, they stoned Paul to the point that they thought he was dead. And stopped throwing stones and went back to town. But I tell you, and then, and we know that Paul said to God, hey, he prayed 3 times to God, take this infirmity, whatever it was. Paul thought it was a limitation. It was holding him back. And he prayed 3 times to God to take this from him. And God come back and says, my grace is sufficient for you. Basically, go on. You're not limited. You're only limiting yourself. And we know that Paul, man, he went on so many tours and wrote to preach the gospel to all the nations that he could reach. And he wrote these letters to Christians. And pretty much a lot of this New Testament is written from Paul and people that went with him out and about. So influence and the limitations says this devotion, and I'm reading out of Jesus, Our Perfect Hope, and it's by Charles Stanley. And this is July the 2nd. And here we go. You have no idea how God is working through you, even in your limitations. Consider Paul and his time in a Roman jail. Certainly, anyone in his situation would feel as if his or her time for effective service have come to an end. You know, you'd be like, well, they beat me. They got me. They defeated me, or whatever. No. Yet, during those prison years, Paul wrote the letters that would become such an important part of our New Testament. Exactly. Do you think Paul knew that those epistles would continue to transform people's lives 2,000 years later? I mean, I know he wanted to make an impact, and maybe that was one of his dreams, that it would reach everyone, and it has. Yet, God had a greater plan than the apostle could have imagined. Yeah. So whatever limitation was put on somebody in these scriptures, old and new, God still performed his will. It still was fulfilled. Wasn't it?
It was fulfilled.
Yeah. It says, you may feel limited in your service to God, but there's no way to know how many people you are influencing through your obedience to him, who is watching, listening, or learning from you, or how they'll affect the world. That's true. I've always heard that people are watching. They're watching you. And that's true. There's a lot of people that are observers of people, and some that don't even pay attention to nobody but themselves. But they notice what you're saying, what your character, how you carry yourself, how you react. And I know I've not acted the way I should have been acting throughout my years of living a Christian life. It's not been anything to be too proud of sometimes. And then thinking, like Paul here and others, being limited with this or that, thinking it holding me back. But no, God says, I give you what I give you. You're only holding yourself back. Well, I can't be like Paul. Well, we don't have to be like Paul. God can use you for who you are. Mm-hmm. You know it? We don't realize how much power we have. I don't. It says,
I don't.
But so, yeah, we don't know who's watching, listening, or learning, and how they'll go out and affect the world. But always keep this in mind. Every person impacts history in some way. That's true. Now here's the two ways. Either for God or for the enemy. What you do lives on in the lives of others. So make sure you are seeking the Lord daily and that you are obeying all his calls you do, or all he calls you to do. Because the good you do in his name continues to bear fruit in eternity. Man. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Paul had I don't know. I don't know if he had any idea how many and how long and whatever that his words written to Christians to these thousands of years ago that we would still be opening them up, reading them, and getting something from it. Well, that's why it's always called, this is the way I understand, that's why it's called, this right here is called the true and living word. It's living. It don't matter how old you are, what time of history or future you are, it still applies to us. It was written for us. We're humans. We're created by God, the Creator. And we're limiting ourselves. Yeah. We're limiting ourselves that God give us. I mean, yes, He made us a little lower. It says in the Bible, He made us a little lower than the angels. So we know that we have angels in the spirit realm that are, they're stronger, they're powerful, or whatever, you know, it may be. But they don't have what we have, though.
No.
And we don't have what they have. But I mean, God made us in such a special, unique way. Every one of us are made individually designed for a purpose.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, I've limited myself so many times in my life, and I'll be honest with you, it's something that I still deal with. So, I appreciate it if you do pray for me, because we limit ourselves. I limit myself to thinking that oh, well, that was Paul. I'm still Paul, man. Well, Paul was a man that wholeheartedly loved Jesus, God, and everybody, that he wanted to spread it. He wanted to tell it. And he was willing. He said, I will lose my life for the cause of Jesus Christ. And he did. And a lot of the others that we have read about in the Bible have.
Yep.
And Moses, go back to Moses. The children of Israel. God picked him, says, I want you to get my people out of here. And Moses automatically limited itself and says, I can't do this by myself. I can't even speak that good. And he kept on, and God was telling him, it's all right. I will give you the words to speak. But Moses kept on limiting himself. We all do it. We've all done it. But I tell you what, if we could ever grasp the same amount of energy and power of limiting ourselves, if we could grasp and tie into that of what actual power and what we are unlimited, it's unlimited what we can do.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. And like Cynthia always, you're special.
Yep.
Yeah. You have a purpose.
That's right.
You're worth.
That's right.
And let's just
shine like Jesus.
And try not to limit ourselves. I'm speaking to myself.
And I'm speaking to myself.
And let's see if we can get out here and kick up some dust and change everybody's thoughts of being down and limited to up and unlimited. I don't know.
That's right. That's good, baby.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody out there has an awesome day today. We appreciate you watching, and we're going to go out here and enjoy it as well. And we'll see y'all on the beautiful next one, okay? So peace out. Love you all. Yeah.
Okay, you guys. I just want to say to everybody to please don't give up, because you're so worth and you're so special.
Yeah.
And you have a beautiful purpose. I promise.
That's right.
I promise. So that being said, you guys, we'll see you on the beautiful next one.
That's
Love
right.
you guys.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
That's right.
And we love y'all.
Yeah, we